Hey everybody, Dog here. This month I have something a little different for you that I think you're really going to enjoy and get some value from. I have on the phone with me Tim Pogorelski, who is the owner and operator of Boxcars Pub and Grub in Clinton, Wisconsin. And now this is a small bar, but it's a very cool bar located in a really small town in southern Wisconsin. And about a year ago, Tim booked me to perform at their first ever comedy night. It was a departure from their normal entertainment lineup, but as I talked with Tim on the phone, I could tell right away that he was a real comedy fan, and we hit it off immediately. And since then, his bar, Boxcars Pub, has probably hosted about a dozen more comedy nights, and all of them have been a big success. And at $10 a ticket, Tim sells out just about every comedy night he puts on. So that's why I wanted to bring him on the phone with me today to talk about why selling tickets for comedy night is important and discuss some promotion strategies that you can take away from this call to make your entertainment events more profitable and fun. So, Tim, you there, buddy?
Yes, I am. How are you doing?
Awesome. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. And thanks for coming on the call with me today.
No problem at all.
Obviously, I've been to Boxcars, and I know a little bit about your history, but just real quick, tell us about your bar and how you got into the business.
I played in bands for years and traveled around doing it for a full-time job, and, so I saw the workings of them, and you could tell the good ones from the bad ones, and just decided that one day it came to a partner that I had at first. Actually, I approached him about getting into business with him. He was kind of struggling, spinning his wheels, and so we went into business together, and we ended up buying him out in 2007. We had the bar since 1999, and never really had thought about doing comedy or anything until you had approached me. And I mean, one reason we bought the building next to us, so we expanded, and we had the room to be able to do it. When I got your letter and we looked at it, it's like, heck, I think this would be a good idea. It's something different. Nobody around us. Janesville's 20 miles away, and they were doing it there, but nobody else around us was doing it. And thought, heck, we'd try. And like I said, if I couldn't sell 50 tickets to something that might as well just close up. But turned out to be a great success. I mean, and do a lot to you.
Oh, well, thanks. And it was a good time. I sent you that letter. I was looking for extra gigs, and you called me right away, and we put it together. And it is cool. I'm glad you mentioned that, how you have that second room, because I think that really makes the difference when it comes to charging an admission for comedy nights, which is really what this call is all about. And Clinton, Wisconsin is a real small town. I mean, what's the population there?
I think it's about 2,100 people or so, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's a farming community?
Yeah, yep. A lot of farmers, just working town, real blue-collar, conservative town, and but people like to have fun and everything. And I think, like I said, it's just something different. And we've had a lot of the repeat people back, and they've spread the word. And when you first came there, I think we set it up to seat like somewhere between 45 and 50 people, and now we've rearranged and configured the tables around, and now we sell 60 tickets. So, and like you said, I think we've had all but one has been a sellout.
Awesome. That's awesome. What other entertainment events do you have?
We get karaoke on the weekends, and once in a while on a Sunday we'll have a band in there, but not a lot of stuff. Just on Fridays and Saturday nights we do it's Wisconsin, so you got to do a fish fry on Fridays. And,
of course.
And Saturdays we do a steak or prime rib. So I don't want to take away from that. That's established and stuff. But the Wednesday that we've set up with you has worked out great.
It has been, and it's been fun for me to work with you doing it too, because there's several places that I perform at that they don't get the same results that you get with a comedy night. But I don't think it's because people don't want to laugh or they don't like comedy. I mean, everybody everywhere likes to laugh and go out and have a good time. It's just a matter of promotion. What kind of promotion do you do to make sure that it's a sold out show?
Well, we do a lot of self promotion in the bar. The bartender's real good about selling it, and I give them incentive too. I offer them just cash or maybe some gift certificates places to whoever sells the most tickets for that month. Also, we advertise on the local radio station here, so I'm on there every Sunday morning. Excuse me, and that gets promoted on there, and then the commercials I cut for the radio station. Usually, one of them's about the comedy show coming up, and just word of mouth now. And I mean, it's been a great thing, and the comedians that have come in there have gotten really good feedback from them. I've asked them all, to critique and tell me if I needed to do something different or if everything was good for them, and and it has been. We've had there was only one instance where there was some heckling going on, and the beyond what it wasn't even really heckling. It was just people talking. And since then, we've put little cards on the tables that ask people to refrain from talking during the show.
Right.
Like if they want to have a normal conversation, they can go out in the other room. But I think also charging $10 is it's $10, not an extraordinary amount of money, but yet you're paying something. So I think when you come in, you expect to see something, and be entertained. And I think it's a lot different than you just do it for free.
Yeah, having the $10 charge, it sets it up for people to know that these are going to be professionals that are coming in. Yeah, absolutely. That's they know that it's not just some hack off the street or something. That they're doing it for a living, and that everybody's there to perform their show and everything. And it's been great. People have even said, geez, this was way more than a $10 show, And since then, what we've gone to now with the 4-part comedy series we started in, when did we start that? October. Mm-hmm.
So we did a VIP pass that people could buy a pass for all 4 tickets, and it was still $40. It's still $10, but with that, you got a half-price appetizer and then a half-price drink. So, if it's a couple, you get you're getting 2 appetizers for the price of 1 and 2 drinks for the price of 1, and that's really been a good selling. But we've gotten rid of almost half of our tickets that way. So, it's nice going into the next show. You already got half your tickets sold. Now we just got to sell, 35 tickets instead of 60.
Right, you're essentially sold out halfway for the next 3 to 4 months in advance with the VIP season pass strategy.
Yep, and it worked out good, and people were really excited about it. And I mean people, oh, geez, 20, 25 people, but that's our core people that are always there. And then the other ones we try to we talk people at the bar and say, hey, come on, do something different, and it's over with by 9:15. I mean, if people want to just do the comedy and hurry up and quick get out of there and get home, they can still be home, get a good night's sleep before they have to get up and go to work. It isn't like a show goes on till midnight.
Right, and it's a Wednesday night, so that's typically an off night for you. A good way to get extra people in there, even if it's just for a couple of hours.
Oh yeah, dude. People come in early, they dine, and and then usually they'll stick around and have a cocktail or 2 afterwards. So it's turned out to be a really good thing.
There are several places that I perform at that for one reason or another, and I've heard the whole list of reasons why bar owners claim they can't charge their customers for their entertainment events. And I've heard reasons that range from, well, this is too small of a town to this is too big of a town. Like complete opposite reasons, but they both claim they can't charge their customers for their entertainment events. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't, with our 10th anniversary, which would have been in 2009. We had a gentleman that's a singer-songwriter from Kentucky, plays a lot in Texas, and I look on his website, and he happened to be in this area, and so I booked him, and it was pretty good thing of money, and we set it up to be outside, and I think we printed 260 or so tickets, and I think it came within 6 of being a sellout. It was just a promotion of it, and the gentleman's name's Chris Knight, and we got on his website, and he, that got people. We had people that came up from Peoria to see the show. A few people from Chicago that were fans of his, but a lot of it was just the people around town and the curiosity of like, who's this guy? And I got to pay $15 to go see him. He must be pretty good.
Right,
and,
right.
I just think people who pay for stuff that you tell them that it's good, or they said $10. They're going, well, I'm coming here. I expect to see a $10 show, and people walk out going, geez, that was a way better show than what I expected for $10, and
right.
But I think when you do it for free, it's just stupid, because there's no investment of anybody, and I think you're going to alienate people. And I know there's people that are customers, a couple of them that's like, I wouldn't come if it was free, which sounds silly, but they want to see a show there that people are going to sit and listen to, and not just get drunk at the bar and be jerks.
Right, and there are some people, they like to go to the bar just to go out and get drunk and be jerks, and I'm all for that too, because sometimes I'm one of those guys.
Absolutely.
But and in that case, I don't want to pay a cover charge, But if I were to go see a show, you go to movies, you go to all kinds of entertainment events that are outside of bar atmospheres where people are obviously willing to pay an admission to those events, and that's what I like to refer to it as, an admission charge, not a cover charge, because that's really what it is. When you pay to see an entertainment event, you're paying to be admitted into the event. I mean, you don't go to a movie and ask how much is the cover charge to get into the theater.
Right, absolutely. I mean, we get tickets printed up that professional looking tickets, and people get them, so they actually you don't get just like a raffle ticket kind of deal, or like people are looking thinking that's what they actually think. Oh, this is an event, like you said. We get tickets. They're numbered. They're got the guy's picture on there. It says the date of the show, what time it is, and people buy them ahead of time, put them just like they would a concert ticket or something. So I mean, it is, and it's like, I think it's different than when you just on a Saturday night you go to a bar and you walk in the door and there's a band playing. They go, it's a $3 cover charge. And, well, I can go across the street to hear this other band play the same music for nothing.
Yeah, it's always classic rock, just a different band.
Right, absolutely. And this is a Wednesday night with nothing else going on. Not that there's not nothing else going on, but not a lot. And it's an event, like I said, and it's gone over really good. I mean, we tried to set it up to where there's actual stage for the person to be up on, so it actually looks and feels like it's a show of some type. It isn't just set up in the corner at the bar and here's a microphone and a couple of speakers and tell some jokes. Right.
And that is one thing I really like about what you do, Tim, is that you really put in the effort of the presentation. So people do feel like they're getting their money's worth, and they are getting their money's worth, because even if it's the comedian, I know a lot of times I've had to roll in and set up my speakers and my PA system in between like a dartboard and a pool table and a jukebox, and I still get the job done. I still make everybody in there laugh. But when you just have that little extra presentation element, if you're able to do it, people really, really feel like they're getting a comedy club experience, but in their own small hometown that they didn't have to leave and worry about driving. And you go to a comedy club, it costs like $20 to get in, and Budweisers are $8 a piece.
Yeah, and you got to have 3 of them.
Right.
Or 2 or 3 or whatever the minimum, and we don't do that. But I mean, they said again, I wouldn't do it if I couldn't charge and do it, and $10 just isn't a lot. We have, and people, and I'm this way. I still, last week looking and going, geez, we got half our tickets left or something, But then it's picked up already, Sunday, yesterday, today, or people are buying tickets, and it's just the way our crowd is. I've had 15 tickets left on a Wednesday of a show, and by middle of the afternoon they were all gone, and then people calling, wanting tickets, and they were already gone. But it's the way, and not to panic, and all of a sudden, oh geez, we better start selling them for $5 or something, and they'll sell. I just, you got to promote it and believe in it, and sell your product. That's what I think if I paid $10 and went in and you were set up, like you said, between a dartboard and a pool table and, just in the corner, standing underneath the TV, it would kind of disappoint me.
I know what you mean, man. I've done many shows exactly like that, and I still get the job done. You can, in fact, those are some of the most fun shows that I do, but I do feel like from a customer standpoint that it doesn't seem that necessarily that special. And some bars don't have the capability to where they have a separate room and they can put people in there and really set it up like you do. But I still think if you're the comedian and you're a national headliner, and even if you're set up between the pool table and the dartboard and the jukebox, that's charging a little bit, $5-10 is still a good way to go, because it's not like music or karaoke or DJs. I think a lot of bar owners get caught up in comparing comedy night to live music, and they say things like, we try to cover charge with a band and it didn't work. Well, there's a reason for that. Like you said, music is background entertainment, and people tend to expect a bar to have music playing in the background. It's almost awkward, to hang out in a bar if there's not music playing.
Yeah.
So, of course, people don't want to pay admission for background entertainment that they expect the bar to already be providing. But live comedy is totally different. It's not background entertainment. It's a lot like a movie. You go, you sit, you watch, except with comedy, it's a lot more fun and interactive, especially my show. For comedy night, taking reservations and selling tickets ahead of time, instead of waiting and hoping for the best, you're going to have a crowd of people in there because they already invested something, like you said. They made a commitment. And when you have a free comedy night, people usually don't pay attention that well, and there are a lot of interruptions, which decreases their enjoyment level. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the one incident we had with that table of ladies, and they just insisted on talking and stuff. And in fact, it was Dobie who's going to be there tomorrow night, and he shot back at him 2 or 3 times, and they were all upset, towards the end. And we had, customers that were like, what are you upset about? You were the one that I paid. We had 4 of us here at the table. It's $40. We came here to see the show. Now listen to you talk, and he had every right to blast you guys. And they were like, well, that's just not cool. And I don't know if they've been back, and that's fine. That's, because it was disruptive everything. And and I felt bad for him because his routine, his show is one that's, rapid fire, and he's got his stuff, and it kind of disrupted the flow of the show, and people could see that, and I felt bad for him. And like I said, I traveled and played music for a living for 2.5 years, and I just feel that taking care of people is just kind of how you do things, and doing it the right way. And I take care of you, and you come in, you're thinking, geez, I'm going to put on a good show for this guy. Not that you don't always, but it's like, God, I went an extra mile. I'm going to an extra step even.
That's exactly right. When I rolled in, I really feel like I got to bring my A game. I always have that feeling, but when I see a place like yours that has put in the effort ahead of time, it's really evident to me that I better make sure these people get their money's worth, and I feel like they usually do.
Definitely. Everybody always, they always ask when you're coming back, so.
Right on. Yeah. In fact, I think even a free comedy night has actually more likelihood of being a flop, because people think that if the show is free, then the comedian must not be that good, and they would actually rather stay home than sit through what they're assuming is a crappy amateur comedy show.
Well, sure. And then too, if they're sitting in there and all of a sudden it's like, you know what, let's head out to the bar and have a shot and a beer. They didn't pay $10 to come sit in. And not that they would do that anyways, but it's just, I think you're more likely to, just whatever. You go, oh, there's a ball game on. Let's go out and watch it. It didn't cost us nothing to come in here. We'll come back in 10 minutes.
Exactly. It sounds weird, but the more you charge for an admission to comedy night, the more attractive it tends to be.
Absolutely. People
tend to enjoy it more and have more appreciation for it.
Yep. Absolutely. I think so. It's, like you said, it's just, if McDonald's has to sell their hamburgers for $25 or 25 cents, I mean, they're not too good, but people will go to, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and pay $50 and go, man, that was a good steak, and I could go get the same one for $15 somewhere else. But just the whole presentation and the atmosphere and everything else.
Right, exactly. And, you talked about how you brought in Chris Knight.
Yep.
From Kentucky, and he has a fan base, and there are people from Peoria and Chicago, you mentioned, that went to that show. So what do you expect out of your entertainers to do on their end to promote themselves when they perform there?
Yeah, if they have websites and stuff to put that on there, just be current, and I don't expect, if they're playing at someplace, and that place has a Wednesday night comedy night too, to go, hey, next month I'm going to be in, travel to Clinton and come and see me. Don't come here, But I think that they, how do I want to say it? They have an obligation also to promote, I think, and
I agree.
And I know you do a fantastic job of that with your, being on with the Wake and Bake on at a Rockford on the radio station, the Stone and Double T, and I just think that a lot of people do, and it's just been a cool thing for me to have done this, and it is a lot of work. We got to rearrange the dining room and bring the stage out, set it up, and but when I have you telling me that you got comedians calling you now that want to come there, or that other guys are like, yeah, I want to come back there. It's like, boy, this is the self-gratification. It's nice. It makes the hard work all worthwhile, and you sit back and hear people laugh, and people have a good time, and they come up, and we all have egos.
Right.
And I like to be told that people had a good time, and it makes me feel good. It makes me want to keep doing it, and make it better.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't go into business expecting to not do any work, especially in the bar business. So it takes, no matter what you put it on, it's going to take some effort to make it a success.
Yep, absolutely.
But it's well worth it at the end.
Like you said the very first time that you were in there, if I can't sell 50 tickets to my customers and everything, then I'm in the wrong business, because
right.
I mean, it's just I'll get on. You talk about promotion. I sit on my iPhone, and go through and send a generic text, and I'll go through my address book and send it out to everybody. And I'll do it a couple of times. I've never had anybody yell at me for sending them out too many texts. We put it on our Facebook page. Like I said, everything we can do to promote it, and and it's funny, you have people come in there and say, well, how long you been doing this? Well, this is our 12th show or whatever. God, I ain't missing another one. And we have people that buy tickets right that night, for the next show.
Right. That's awesome. And so you get a lot of the same repeat people coming back for show after show after show after show. So it's kind of creates a snowball effect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And we've had people that we've actually put a couple extra chairs in and sold a couple extra tickets just because people came and said, oh man, we drove here from 15 miles away or whatever, and you're sold out. Yeah, we've been sold out for 4 days, or whatever, and so it's like, there's just the two of you, we can squeeze you in over here or whatever, and try to accommodate them.
Sure, and then that spreads good word of mouth out in the community and gets some buzz going for you.
Yes, it does.
All right, well, that's all really good stuff, man. So before we wrap this up, what are some other ways besides charging admission? What are some other ways to profit from a comedy night? For instance, how can someone listening in on this call sell more food and drinks during a comedy night?
Well, like I said, we took and offered, buy one appetizer, get the second one for half price. You look at your stuff and your profit margin. Sure, it's cut some, but you're still making money. And my thing is, and then we do the buy one drink, get a second one for half price. And it's not, I mean, and then offering, service, let people sit at the table, sit where they're going to sit for the show and wait on them and let them have food in there. We also have a number system at each table, and then you can fill out a piece of paper that we have on the table, these forms, and what you want to drink, and you put that up, or you hold it up when the waitress comes in and she gets it, and there's no, you're not disrupting anything. She just goes out, the order's already written out, she brings it to your table, show's over, she brings you your bill, and everybody, pays. The other thing I was going to say with our VIP package, one of the big things, the selling point, was that people get to pick their seats where they want to sit for all 4 shows, and people really like that. And we hold them till quarter after. They got to be there 15 minutes early.
Sure.
Unless they've called, they called today. We ran into traffic. We're on our way, but we're going to be, not there till 20 after.
Right.
Well, but they like that. Some people don't want to sit up front, or they don't want to sit in back. They pick their seats, and they really like that. But a good waitress service, a good waitress in there really makes or breaks you. And I think, and someone that's on the ball that can wait on people and be friendly with them, and people are there to have a good time. They want a friendly waitress that's going to give them good service. And I said, and just afterwards, being able to accommodate them when they come out from the show. They want to have a beer. They don't want to stand at the bar for 10 minutes waiting, and if they want to have a beer, maybe and get home so they can get up and go to work the next day. But just that's what we try to do, stuff like that. Just anything customer service oriented, which people out there listening, I'm sure they do. But and the other thing is like, think, okay, geez, I'm doing a 2-for-1 appetizer. That's not making me any money. But you know what? If people have a good time, then they might come back on a Friday night. They might spend $100.
Right.
But I'm looking for, customers to spread the word, going, man, this is a good place to go. We had, we went there early and ate. I'd like to go back for Friday fish. I'd like to go back for their Saturday night steak.
Right.
I'd like to go back to have a burger, and they all of a sudden on a Sunday afternoon you see that couple that was at the comedy show come in with 6 other people, and
there you go.
So that half-price appetizer is looking pretty good right now.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of places I perform at, they don't do a cover charge, but instead raise prices on their food and drinks during the show. And I think, okay, that kind of makes sense. But then again, it doesn't matter how much more you charge for food and drinks. If no one shows up, you can't sell to empty seats.
Right. And I don't like that idea. I know, I used to play, like I said, traveling in the bands, and you'd go in and be a Friday night, all of a sudden drinks are $1 more, and it's like, nobody's showing up. Well, yeah, because, why are they going to pay $1 more than they did last night?
Right.
Just charge $2 at the door and let them have their drinks for the regular normal price. It's I don't know. I don't get sometimes. I think you got to not be afraid to take a chance. And I didn't know if this was going to fly or not. And I think with the economy and the election coming up and everything, I think once this is over today, people will have a sense of what direction the country's going in or whatever. And pocket strings are a little tight right now, and I've seen that with our shows. Even we, the last one came within a couple. That was our one that didn't sell out. And, but it came within just a couple of doing it. So it was still great, and everybody enjoyed it. But I just think that, you can't panic. It isn't like you have a comedy night and all of a sudden you wanted 50 people and you have 30. Well, take a look at why you didn't get them other 20. Make a couple of changes and keep going. It doesn't, you can't just do it and have it just happen overnight.
There you go. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Anything else you want to add, or?
No, just, I want to thank you, for everything you've done for helping us be a success. And I just think that, people out there that are bar owners, that some of them, they want that, they book you. And it's just like being in a band, It's like, geez, what the heck? How come you guys didn't, there's nobody here? Well, what'd you do to promote it? Well, I put a poster up in the bathroom. Oh, well,
right.
All right. How many people saw that all week long?
Right.
You have to promote it. You have to experience, and I just think in the long run it'll work out for you.
And yeah, and another thing I noticed about you is you're there, you're active in the bar, everybody knows you, and I've seen you even going around with some of you. That one night I was in there, you're having the meat raffle, and you're on the microphone, and you're cracking jokes, and you're kind of like the personality of the room. And don't you think that a lot of that also kind of adds to your ability to sell more tickets because everybody knows you and is friendly with you, and you've established the relationship?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. And the other thing is I think, like I said, I've asked every comedian that's been there what I could do, but I've asked my customers too. Did you enjoy this guy? Did you enjoy it? Did you hear good enough? Was the lighting good? I mean, was everything satisfactory? And you gotta take their feedback. And sometimes it's not what you want to hear, but if it makes things better, then that's the ultimate thing, is to make it better.
Absolutely. And I also like your idea where, you had to kick out those 4 girls who were kind of being obnoxious and they were kind of pissed off about it, but it's better to alienate 4 people than to alienate the other 50.
Oh, absolutely. And there again, or to alienate the comedians.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are a tight-knit group for the most part. It seems, from what I've talked to, all the comedians seem to know each other, and it's like, I don't want to go and, hey, go there and you'll have these assholes heckling you. You don't want to go there.
Right.
Even if it's a Wednesday, I know it's an extra gig, but it ain't worth the drive and the hassle and all the BS you got to go through. I don't want that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it would get tougher to get better comedians in there every time if word got around that it was a hell gig.
Yeah.
And I've seen full-time professional booking agencies go through that because they're not very... they don't discriminate on where or who they book or how they put it all together. That as long as they've got someone willing to pay them, they'll just throw a warm body in there. And then if the club owner drops the ball in the promotion, the comedian's not very good, it snowballs in the other direction to being a failure. But when you do everything right, and like you said, test and tweak and get feedback, you can snowball it into the direction that's positive, which is bringing in more business and creating more buzz about, not just comedy nights, but all of your entertainment or all of the things that you have going on at the bar.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, like I said, you get people there and they have a positive experience, they're going to come back. It might be, this summer when they're on their Harley, and they might buzz in with half a dozen people, like I said, and that's what it's all about to me. I mean, the Wednesday nights we have comedy are really good nights, as far as from a typical Wednesday night. So,
right.
And the ticket sales take care of the cost of the comedian, the cost of my tickets, the cost of the posters I have printed. So that cost covers that. So, I get, 30, 40 people extra in there that I wouldn't have, and they buy 2 or 3 drinks and maybe some food, and all of a sudden you look at the till and you go, geez, this is a good night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right. Well, that's all the questions I had. I think we've covered a lot of good stuff here. So thanks for doing this with me, man.
That's all right. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Tim.
Anybody out there, just take the chance, and just do it up like it's the biggest event of the year at your bar. And, that's the thing too. People get excited, like, holy shit, I can't miss this. This is going to be a cool event. I don't want to miss it. I don't care if it's $10. It must be good. It's $10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I really appreciate it. And I hope everyone listening into this call got some valuable information from it and some ideas that you can apply to all of your entertainment events, not just comedy nights. Because what it comes down to is making a profit and showing your customers a great time. So with some good promotion strategies, commitment, and effort, you don't have to leave money on the table by offering every entertainment event for free.
That's right. Yep.
Awesome.
Doesn't make any sense.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Jeremy. Take care.